You've heard it 100 times. If they wanted to, they would. Sounds strong, right? Like you're standing tall, iced coffee in one hand, sunglasses in the other, whispering, "I don't chase, I attract." But let's be real. That quote? Emotional junk food. Tastes empowering, but leaves you spiraling at 3 a.m., wondering why someone didn't text back. Here's the truth, sometimes people do want to, but they just can't. Maybe they're anxious. Maybe they're overthinking. Maybe they typed out 5 drafts and deleted them all. Or maybe they're just emotionally constipated and panicked at the idea of using actual words. This quote makes you skip context and jump straight to rejection. It tells your brain, if they didn't act exactly how you expected, it's because you're not worth it. Suddenly, a late reply feels like a full-blown breakup. And instead of giving yourself grace, you're questioning your entire value because of a quote you scrolled past between a dog meme and a girl crying on TikTok. This is what's called all-or-nothing thinking. Your brain goes, "They didn't reply equals they don't care equals I'm not enough." No middle ground. Just an emotional jump cut to heartbreak. Want to know why it spread so fast? Because that kind of thinking is addictive. It gives you a clean answer, even if it's the wrong one. And the internet? It loves anything that gets your emotions to spike fast. So yeah, sometimes they don't want to. But other times, they're just human. Messy. Scared. Busy. Confused. That doesn't make them evil, and it definitely doesn't make you unlovable. Good vibes only sounds cute until you realize it's just a prettier way of saying, "Please pretend to be okay so I don't have to deal with your feelings." It turns actual human emotion into a vibe check. You're sad. Anxious. Angry. Sorry, that doesn't match the aesthetic. Come back when you're glowing and emotionally photoshopped. Here's the toxic part, it makes you feel like your negative emotions are a problem to fix, not a signal to understand. Suddenly, having a rough day feels like a personal failure. You're not just upset, you're ruining the vibe. So what do? You slap on a smile, post something positive, and spiral silently. Meanwhile, your brain is in the back screaming, "Hey, we're not okay." This kind of advice teaches you to avoid discomfort instead of process it. But real growth? It's messy. It's ugly crying. It's texting your friend, "I'm losing it" at 2 a.m. and not feeling ashamed. You don't need to be a ball of sunshine 24/7. You're a human being, not a serotonin dispenser. Some days, the vibe is just barely holding it together, and that's valid too. Good vibes are great. But real ones, the kind that let you cry, vent, rage, feel, and heal, those are better. Cut off toxic people. Oh yeah? Cool. Just one problem, what exactly counts as toxic? Are we talking about your manipulative ex, or your friend who took 3 hours to text back because they were asleep? This advice turns every uncomfortable moment into a red flag and every imperfect person into a villain. Someone forgets your birthday? Your roommate uses your shampoo? Your mom suggests a real job? You start cutting people off not to protect your peace, but because you've been trained to fear any emotional discomfort. Here's the twist, actual growth doesn't mean running away the second things get messy. It means learning the difference between someone who challenges you and someone who's actively harmful. Most of the time, people aren't toxic. They're just tired. Flawed. Awkward. Bad at texting. They hurt you not out of malice, but because they're human and sometimes say dumb stuff with good intentions. If you cut off every person who made a mistake, you'll end up alone, with only your inner voice to keep you company. And let's be honest, that voice can be way more toxic than Susan from accounting. Boundaries are good. But not every boundary needs to come with a guillotine. Everything happens for a reason. It's the unofficial catchphrase of people who don't know what to say but still want to sound deep. You spill coffee on your white shirt before an interview? Everything happens for a reason. You get dumped via emoji? Everything happens for a reason. Your dog eats your rent money? Cool. The universe is teaching you resilience, I guess. Look, sometimes this phrase does help people find peace. That's valid. But a lot of the time, it gets used to skip over your feelings. You're hurting, and instead of someone sitting in it with you, they toss you a cosmic fortune cookie and change the subject. And worse, it can make you feel like your pain is some kind of divine punishment. Like the universe broke your heart on purpose to teach you a lesson you didn't ask for. Not everything is a master plan. Sometimes things happen because life is chaotic, people make mistakes, and stuff just sucks. That doesn't mean there's no meaning. You can make meaning out of what happens to you. But you don't have to pretend that pain was a gift the second it shows up. You're allowed to say, "This sucked. I didn't deserve it. And I don't have the lesson yet." And that's okay. No one will love you until you love yourself. Sounds like a profound life truth, right? Like something a wise monk would say while lighting a candle. But let's be real, that quote is just a glamorous guilt trip. It takes your self-esteem issues and blames you for being unloved. Struggling with insecurity? Oh, well, guess you're unlovable until further notice. Not vibing with your reflection this week? No hugs for you. Come back when you've done some journaling. This advice confuses self-worth with eligibility. And the truth is, people love other people all the time, even when they're messy, anxious, broken, or still figuring stuff out. Have you seen the people who are happily married out there? Some of them are held together by sarcasm, caffeine, and trauma. Here's the real deal: loving yourself is awesome. It helps. But it's not a cover charge for being loved by others. You can still be worthy of love while working on your confidence. You can have bad days, self-doubt, mental health spirals, and still have people who want to hold your hand through it. Saying no one will love you until you love yourself is like saying you can't eat until you're already full. It's not inspiring, it's confusing. And cruel. Real love isn't a reward for perfect mental health. It's often what helps you get there. You attract what you are. Sounds deep. Cosmic. Like you're made of magnetic moonlight or something. But here's the reality: this quote is just a vibe-based blame game. Feeling anxious? Attracting chaos? That's your fault now. Heartbroken? Rejected? Ghosted by someone who says grand rising? Well, clearly you must be emotionally broken and giving off sad person radio signals. This advice teaches you that every bad thing that happens is because you secretly deserve it. That if someone treats you badly, it must be a reflection of your inner self. Congrats! You're now emotionally responsible for other people being trash. It turns healing into performance. You start pretending to be happy, successful, glowing just to attract better people. It's like manifesting with a side of anxiety. The truth? You don't attract what you are. You attract what you're exposed to, what you tolerate, and sometimes, just plain bad luck. Amazing people get used. Kind people get ghosted. Confident people still date human red flags in cool sneakers. It's not always about your aura. Sometimes it's just life being life. You don't have to be perfect to receive love. You don't have to glow to be respected. You just have to exist, messy, real, and still deserving of good things. Hustle while they sleep. Translation: if you're not grinding 24/7, someone else is, and they're going to steal your dreams. Sounds inspiring until you realize it's just glorified burnout. You're not a machine. You're a human with a nervous system that's 2 skipped meals away from a full meltdown. This advice turns rest into weakness. Like if you dare to take a nap, some billionaire is out there building a rocket with your name on it. But let's be real, working nonstop doesn't always mean success. Sometimes it just means you're tired, cranky, and crying into your third iced coffee at 2 a.m. Sleep isn't a luxury, it's brain maintenance. The same people shouting grind harder online are either A, already rich and outsourcing everything, B, 19 and haven't had a back spasm yet. You don't need to hustle every second to be successful. You need clarity, strategy, and radical concept of functioning body. Rest is not laziness. Rest is what keeps your dreams from collapsing under a mountain of caffeine and cortisol. So next time someone throws advice at you wrapped in glitter and good vibes, pause. Ask yourself, is this helping me grow? Or just guilting me into being easier to manage? Because not all advice is wisdom. Some of it is just manipulation, wearing a cute little quote hoodie. And if that blew your mind a little, oh buddy, you haven't seen anything yet. We're just getting started. So if you want more emotional myths exposed, brain glitches decoded, and the truth hiding behind the self-help fog, stick around. You're gonna want to see what's coming next.